Hey guys, Victoria here and welcome to the Geeky Sandbox. So I'm back again today. I'm doing a lot of videos today. And this one specifically is going to finally be over the non-spoiler review of Aquaman. I debated about doing this for quite a while because I actually didn't get to see Aquaman until January. So that was quite a bit off just from when it came out. And I did get to see it 2 times luckily, so I do have enough information and enough, I formed enough of an opinion to tell you guys how I felt about this movie. So if you guys know, Aquaman was directed by James Wan, and James Wan is like the horror movie king director. Like, he did Insidious, he's done just he had a hand in some of the Annabelle films and some of the things that are within that Conjuring universe and that Insidious universe, which I've heard maybe linked, but that's a discussion for another time. But yeah, so you can definitely see some of his influences in this movie. The performances by Amber Heard and Jason Momoa and just everybody was amazing. Kind of jumping ahead, everyone did great with the material. I'll say that. I first of all have to talk about, I'll get this out of the way. Jason Momoa did a great job as Aquaman. He really, you could tell he was really a part of the character. Like, that felt like what Jason Momoa envisioned Aquaman to be like. And so that's what made me enjoy the character, liked his performance. He did a really great job and I'm proud of him. And I'm just proud of how he's kind of set the bar high for DC moving forward, because I have a friend that says DC is back, and she's right in a sense in regard to, you know, they've got Wonder Woman going well now and they have Aquaman up there with her as well, and another Wonder Woman movie will be coming out soon. So, you know, we'll have to see exactly what DC is going to do moving forward. They painted his beginning very nicely and it was very enjoyable, and they kind of split it up just a little bit. So before I get too far into like script and pacing and things like that, I'll talk about Amber Heard's performance as Mara. I do think that she did a nice job as Mara. The character was very headstrong and just a little stubborn, which I liked. I like having that contrast of Mara, which, you know, even in the comics, she was kind of always like, you know, I'm my own person kind of person. But I like how that was portrayed on screen. So I like that balance between how she is and then how Momoa portrayed Aquaman, this kind of lighthearted, like kind of oblivious guy who's kind of hiding from some of his problems and not wanting to face certain things and holding a grudge. So I like that balance between both of them, and even just the fact of him being a person, like a half human, half Atlantean that lives on Earth and lives on land, and then you have her who lives in Atlantis, who's very into the law and things like that. So I like that contrast between those characters, and I do think that their chemistry was very, very nice. Patrick Wilson, it was interesting to see him in this type of movie. I did see that he had a credit for the President in Batman vs. Superman, which I don't remember that, so I'll have to go back and look at that. I was talking to my friend about that because I was checking out his IMDb and I was like, has he been in anything kind of superhero related before? And I was kind of like, what? Obviously Watchmen, but I was like, what? He was in Batman vs. Superman? And it said that he only had 2 lines. So I do want to go back and see what that was like, but just kind of seeing him in this kind of environment as a villain was very nice. Like, we've seen him go dark before in several of the other movies, whether it was Insidious or just kind of see him just kind of face dark things within the Conjuring universe. So all of that is very, very interesting. And of course it makes sense, him and James Wan are pals, so it makes sense that he probably had a hand in pulling him into this project. And you can see that that nice work relationship right there. But I do feel like his performance was solid, but it was very like, I'm the villain and I'm the villain. Like, I don't know, like there wasn't much depth to him. Like, you understand why he's doing what he's doing as a character, but there wasn't a lot of depth to him as a villain as I would have liked personally. But I do think that he did a great job with what he could. So I don't know, I like Patrick Wilson. I think he's a fantastic actor, but his portrayal of the villain in Aquaman wasn't very convincing to me, and I didn't feel threatened. I don't want to sound mean. I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel like I don't know, I always felt like Aquaman could just kick his butt. Like, that's what it felt like, because he just felt evil for the sake of being evil, though he does state off his reason for wanting to do the things he does in the movie, and some of them are pretty logical. Some of them make sense as to why he would do those things, but I wasn't getting that vibe off of him, if that makes sense. So Nicole Kidman, she's just always been one of those actors that usually has a pretty amazing performance whenever you see her in any kind of movie, honestly. Aquaman, there's no exception. She did a great job as Queen Atlanta, and I don't know, you can see that she cared about the people that she was involved with, and you can see that she did everything she could do as a parent and as a queen. Like, you can see that she was definitely torn there. And I don't know, I really truly did enjoy her performance, and I was invested to see what happened to her, what she would do, and what was next for her. So hats off to Nicole Kidman, and you guys know she's going to be in a lot of other amazing things coming out later this year too. I mean, and also like what she was in Upside, and she just kind of like randomly appears in some other movies. So yeah, Nicole Kidman, if she's not on your radar, put her on your radar. Now let's talk about Yahya Abdul-Mateen II's portrayal of Black Manta. I was so heartbroken because I really wanted Black Manta to like shine, and he didn't, and that like breaks my heart because I love Yahya Abdul, and I really wanted like I really wanted him to shine in this movie because I like him as an actor and I like Black Manta. They and this will probably help me transition into the script and things like that. Some of the lines that that were written for Black Manta were very like campy, and obviously this is one of those movies where if you go in taking it way too serious, you won't like it at all, because I know a lot of people who hated this movie, but it's not a movie you go in taking very seriously like Batman versus Superman. We saw how well that went. But you don't go in taking it to be like this like intense movie. You go in to have fun and just kind of have that light spirit or light-hearted spirit like Jason Momoa's Aquaman. And I don't know, yeah, so I do feel like even though this movie wasn't something you were supposed to be just having your serious hat on for, I do feel like Black Manta took himself very seriously, and it didn't match the tone with the rest of the movie, so it's like I couldn't take him serious. So it was very interesting just kind of seeing that kind of contrast, because you have the goofiness going on over here with Aquaman and his antics with Mera, and then you kind of have like some of the very intense stuff going on with the Ocean Master played by Patrick Wilson. So that in itself, like, I mean, Patrick Wilson's character, he was supposed to be serious like 99% of the time. But like when Black Manta was serious, just coming off the high of like that energy of Aquaman, it was kind of weird. But like I said, some of the lines he had were very campy, and they were very like, I have to have the Aquaman. Like, it was kind of weird. Like, it didn't feel like he would say that in this present timeline. You know what I mean? And like where we are today, 2019 or 2018 when the movie came out, but it just kind of felt weird and forced, some of the lines that he had, and it was kind of unfortunate because I feel like Yahya is such a nice actor. He was in The Greatest Showman, he was in The Get Down on Netflix and just things like that. Sorry, my phone vibrated. So it just kind of sucks that happened like that, but like I said, I feel like he did a great job with the material, but some of the acting in regard to that, the way the script and him did not go well together. And so in result, it created cringe. So Yahya in the script, cringe. I don't know, it sucks because like I said, I was looking very forward to seeing Black Manta shine because he's one of Aquaman's greatest foes. One of the greatest, which is why they wanted to definitely fit him into this movie. And that was the problem. You could still have the same exact movie without Black Manta. And that's what makes the thing kind of weird in regard to the script. I think that the dynamic between Black Manta and his father was very much so rushed. It was very rushed. You get all of 5 minutes. Like when they come in, you're already supposed to assume, oh, this is Black Manta, this is his dad. We know what happens with that. If not, I'll let you guys see the movie or read the comics. I don't want to spoil that. So you see all that stuff happen, and then you end up getting Black Manta wanting to rise up and go after Aquaman. Classic story, right? But it's very rushed. It all happens within 5 minutes. You're supposed to already know their relationship. And for people who don't know anything about Aquaman or Black Manta, you're kind of like, wait, who's that? And what's going on? And so it's kind of like really rushed. And I feel like they don't give you time to care about why Black Manta wants to go after Aquaman. They don't give you any time for that. And I think that's what makes Black Manta as a character someone who is too serious for the movie, and then someone whose justice isn't justified, if that makes sense, which I was very disappointed in that. I feel like he was underpowered, and he was, I don't know, like I didn't feel for him as a villain. Not that you have to make me feel for every villain or for anyone really, but I really want to side with him or be torn, like, oh man, what he did was kind of messed up. Okay, I kind of see where you're coming from, Black Manta. But the whole time I was just like, all right, Arthur, do what you have to do so we can get back to the main story. Having two different villains in this story just for the sake of having Black Manta in this movie messed up the chance for Black Manta to be a very serious villain to be reckoned with. So let's talk about music for a second. The score was amazing, but in regard to the soundtrack, there were a few just popular, well-known songs that definitely pulled me out of the movie. There was a point where Mara and Arthur were walking, and it was a Pitbull song, and I was kind of like, I mean, I get the whole point of it. It's supposed to be funny the way it happens, but it was kind of like, hey, Black Manta's working on his suit for the very first time. That song kind of works, but it's kind of random because, like I said, it's a song with words, so it kind of pulls you out. But I do like that song there. It kind of gave me very like RoboCop being created kind of thing. So like it felt very 80s, like the song, and then seeing him work on the suit. But those two songs really did pull me out of the movie, but in general the score was very, very nice. And visually, I mean, hands down, one of the most visually appealing, just beautiful movies that I've seen in a long time. Like, even though there's a lot of CG, you can't tell that it's like, you don't mind that it's CG and it doesn't pull you out. You aren't like, oh, that looks so fake. Everything looks beautiful. Everything's rich in color. Everything's believable. Like, you really feel like that's what Atlantis looks like. Like, you have very like, I don't know, beautiful jellyfish and kind of scary, creepy seahorses that look awesome. Like, everything visually looks good. Even the way their hair moved underwater, like the physics of their hair moving as they were underwater looked amazing. That was definitely one of my favorite parts of Aquaman, aside from the dynamic of Jason Momoa and Amber Heard. Really, really, really beautiful stuff. And just to like go off of that end there, I do want to talk a little bit more about the visuals in regard to, there's a particular scene in the movie that I don't want to give away. The colors were amazing. It was dark. It was gritty. And you can tell James Wan had fun with that movie. Like, you would literally leave that part of the movie feeling creeped out and kind of scared because you didn't know what was going to happen. Like, there's at least 1 or 2 good jump scares in there for all of the people who are prone to jump scares within Aquaman, just because you could tell James Wan had fun with that scene in particular, and you guys will see what I'm talking about if you haven't seen it yet. It's very like, there's a lot of red in there, and then there's like a lot of dark colors and the darkness of the sea. Like, there's a lot going on there, and I think that was probably one of my favorite scenes visually. With all of that being said, what do I give Aquaman? I give Aquaman 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, why not? I give Aquaman 4 out of 5 stars. Now, I know I went very hard on the portrayal of Black Manta. That's why I could never give it a full 5 stars. And who knows, I could even backslide and say 3.5. But I'm gonna say 4 just because Jason Momoa, man, he did a really amazing job with this, and I think everyone involved, like, they really came together to make something special. Like, who would have thought that we would see Aquaman being brought to life in a way where people weren't like making fun of him? Like, this is someone that is on your radar. Why can I talk today, guys? This is someone that's on your radar. Like, they did a really great job with making Aquaman somebody to be reckoned with, and you learn a lot more about him too. Like, if you've never if you've never read any Aquaman comic books, didn't watch Justice League on TV or anything like that, you learn a lot about Arthur. Go ahead and leave me a comment. What did you think about Aquaman? And what did you guys think about Black Manta? I just want to know if I'm the only one who felt like he was so short. But no, yeah, let me know what you thought about the movie and him as well. And if you like this video, of course, go ahead and give me a like rating down below. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm almost to 300 subscribers. Like, this is amazing. I'm almost to 300 subscribers. So if you're just slipping by just to see what I thought about this movie or anything like that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because I do a lot more in regard to trailer breakdowns and movie reviews, sometimes spoiler reviews, and comic book things and things like that. And also I'm trying to do my best on TV show reviews. So if any of that stuff interests you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you are already subscribed, thank you so much. Until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.